Hey guys, I'm excited to unbox the Apple Airpods Pro. Just picked them up today at the Apple Store, and without the big announcement that Apple typically does, I was able to stroll in and out in under 5 minutes and pick these up without the long line. So really enjoyed that, and maybe Apple did it on purpose from a supply chain perspective, who knows. I've been using AirPods for quite some time now. I was a little bit late to the game because the iPhone headphones never fit in my ear. But one day I walked into an Apple store and she let me try them on, one of the sales associates. I actually ran around the store and they stayed in. So ever since then, I've had them in my pocket at all times, which is great to ever listen to music or that moment to catch up on a podcast, whatever it may be. So excited to see the next generation of AirPods. Gonna unbox them, go over how easy is it to pair with my watch as well as my phone, and also kind of give you what I like and don't like as I'm going through the process. So thanks so much for checking it out. I just unboxed the new Apple AirPods Pro, and right away it still feels just like the older AirPods. Obviously there's a difference in size here. It kind of feels like if you flip this over, they're very similar, which is probably how it'll sit in my pocket anyway. But right away I noticed they still have the light up front and it's pulsating, and you can see the new AirPods. This is the first time taking them out. The antenna, this part right here, is definitely smaller for right away. There's some new ports on here, which I believe are to allow air in so you can wear them and still hear someone next to you. We'll go over that feature as we go through it, but right away, just from a look and feel, I don't think there's gonna be much difference between the old AirPods, carrying them around every day, to switching to these. Right, so I've got my phone here and I'm just gonna open up, I have my old AirPods, but I'm gonna just open this up next to the phone. Okay, so pretty quickly, I need to check for an update. All right, sounds like, I believe you have to be on Apple 13.2 in order to use the Apple AirPods Pro. So one quick way to know you don't have the newest iOS version is having to download to the latest and greatest to use the AirPods. So note to self, you need to be on 13.2 in order to use Apple AirPods. So just go to General, Software Update in your settings, and it'll tell you if you need to update. But while it's updating, I'll go ahead and put these on just to see. So from first blush, this is, all right, I believe my right. Oh, right away, oh wow, right away the seal that compared to the older AirPods, there's no comparison. I will say though that without the pass-through, it's gonna be hard to hear anything. So I'm glad that that's a feature, but right away they fit pretty good. There is an ear tip test that now Apple includes as part of the onboarding. So we'll go through that, but without doing anything, and these come with the middle setting in terms of this piece right here, feels pretty good in the ear. I'd probably look to go either smaller or bigger, not sure. Apple will tell me. So for reference, I have the old AirPods in on my right ear and the new AirPods Pro in the left ear. And they kind of fit the same in terms of the look and feel that Apple is going for. Shorter antenna or stem on this side. Yeah, so that's kind of how it looks in both ears. I'll kind of give you this side right here. So as we look further in the packaging, you'll notice that Apple sends some additional ear tips, some that are smaller and larger. Default is the medium size, I guess, and they come on the AirPods right now. So you can see that these are already on there. So I'm actually going to try these on, but I'm going to wait until my phone updates so I can actually utilize the test that Apple provides in settings. So for the remainder of the packaging, you'll also get a USB-C to Lightning port connection, so you can easily charge your AirPods Pro with your MacBook or with one of your charging cables that you use for your iPhone. So I don't mind it as much. I know their Pro line for Apple typically goes USB-C to USB-C, but I think in this case, it makes it a lot easier. I don't have to get additional chargers outside of what I have for my MacBook. So the Apple AirPods, speaking of battery, they, when you use them, it's 5 hours of usage time. If you turn on noise cancel, that goes down to 4.5 hours, which isn't bad. And they also have a pass-through feature, which we'll go over. But in terms of battery life, I'm pretty happy with that. The case comes with 24 hours worth of charge. So you just pop these back in, they're charging in your pocket. And this works with a wireless charging pad. So if at your work, you can just place them on a pad and they charge while you're in a meeting, you come back, pop them back in your pocket, and you are good to go. So I've never really had a problem with the old AirPods in terms of battery. I know eventually they won't work as great, but so far so good for my purposes. So I finally got my phone updated to 13.2. So let's try this again. I'll simply just open up the AirPod cases. All right, very quickly. Now we're getting a quick animation. AirPods Pro. Let's go ahead and connect. Just put these down. It is connecting. Media control, press once on either AirPod to play, pause, twice to skip forward. Oh, goes pretty quick. And then so there's some controls in the AirPods. We'll go over this and the look and feel, but it's basically taking me through how to use the AirPods. This is a great feature, announcing messages. So if you have your AirPods in and your phone's in your pocket, you can turn this on. I'll probably turn this on for now to try it out, but honestly, with a watch on, I'm able to quickly get the message and no need for Siri to read it to me. We'll try it out though. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put the smaller AirPod tip in. So if I just go ahead and take these out, I heard you feel like you're breaking them, but you're not, you kind of just squeeze and pull. I mean, I'm really having to pull here. Oh, I finally got it out. You noticed a little bit difficult to do and a little worrisome, but this is what it looks like without the plastic piece or silicone piece tip on top. Now I'll go ahead and take one of the smaller ones just to give it a try. And I'm gonna go ahead and stick it on. Very easy to stick on. Wow, that was pretty cool. So I was a little worried about how hard it was to take off, but to stick on, not bad. So I'm gonna try these on real quick. All right, so I've got my AirPods in and I'm gonna go ahead and swipe from the top right, and I'll notice my volume now has a new icon for the AirPods Pro. If you press and hold, you'll now get to noise cancellation mode. You can turn them off, and I just heard a ding in my ear letting me know, or transparency. Wow, transparency is actually really nice. Wow. I do feel like there's reverb on my voice right now, but wow, pretty nice. So this is where you can go ahead and select volume, obviously, as well as turn on and off the different features. Quite the difference between on or off and transparency. Makes me want to just have transparency on at all times where I'm just walking around the house or in between meetings or whatever it is. So if someone is calling my name, wow, I really, really like that feature. Fantastic. All right, so the best way I think I can test noise cancellation at this time at night is to go on YouTube and type in background city noise, and that's what I have playing on my TV. My TV right now is at a volume 15, which is what I normally watch it at, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn from transparency to noise cancel. Wow, that's actually really good. I'm surprised I'm pretty close to the TV. I usually sit a little bit further back, and I can still hear it. To be honest, I had the Bose QC35i's, and I think it's similar in terms of what kind of leaks through. The Bose had maybe more of a suction because it was over the ear, but pretty impressed. Let me go ahead and turn down the volume. At about a 7 on the TV, which is pretty low. I can't really hear anything outside of these. I also did put the smaller ear tip in, so I'm gonna see if I have the right fit based on what Apple thinks. Settings, if you go ahead in AirPods Pro, click on the information, you scroll down, here is the ear tip fit test. So let's go through it together. We'll check for audio quality and noise cancellation. So I'll go ahead and hit continue and place the AirPods in both ears. Already done. Let's hit play, see what happens. All right, it's playing some music right now. Some rock and roll actually, and it looks like it's loading. So it says left ear, adjust or try a different ear tip. All right, good, the right ear is good. So I did kind of feel the left one a little bit out. I'm gonna go ahead and push it in a little bit more and see if it's still comfortable, and hit play again. Great, good seal on both ears. Thank you, Apple. We'll go ahead and click done. Okay, so for the first time, I'm trying the different buttons on here. Right away, I'm wondering if I can tap to do what I used to do on my AirPods, but they do have a button, a tactical feel eventually. So if I click and hold, you'll notice it switches back and forth between noise cancel and transparency, which is nice because between off and transparency, I like transparency a lot better, and I think that's the point. So I've got my Spotify up. I don't use Apple Music. I might reconsider it once they update some of the stuff in the UI, but I'm with Spotify and I have a lot of playlists already. So it's really just me being lazy and not wanting to transfer all the different aspects that I love about Spotify. Anyway, we'll go ahead and click once and that will play the song. Fantastic. And it's a little low, so let me go ahead and say, hey Siri, can you turn up the volume 20%? So now, Hey Siri is built in directly in here. So all you have to do is say, Hey Siri. I will notice when your phone is up, that Siri comes up on your phone, kind of gives you that visual UI experience. But if my phone is closed, drop it. Hey Siri, what's the temperature tomorrow? Nice. So now it's telling me the temperature in my ears. It's kind of weird to give you this demo without you being able to see anything. But when I did say, hey, SIRI, there was no feedback to let me know that it heard. It just wants me to keep talking. And I think that's something Apple's trying to get people to do. Not only Apple, but Google, etc., to eliminate some of the friction when talking to a voice-enabled computer, pods, whatever it may be. With Siri, I can also say, hey Siri, turn off noise cancellation. All done. See, noise cancel off. And if you're curious what that actually ended up going, it does go to off. So you can toggle from your AirPods Pro to go between transparency and noise cancel, or you can just tell Siri to turn it off. Without doing anything, my Apple Watch already knows that my AirPod Pros are in, and as soon as I click the play button, they play directly from the AirPods. So no surprise there. That's the whole reason someone buys into the ecosystem of Apple, is everything kind of just seamlessly works. All right, so I still have the background noise, city noise being played from YouTube, and I turned noise cancel on and turned the music to about this volume, and I could not hear it. I had to turn it up to about 30 to hear anything in the background. So to me, noise cancel really works very well when you have music playing as well in the background along with it. So thank you guys so much for catching up with me on the unboxing of the Apple AirPods Pro. I really enjoyed this product so far. So first blush impressions, $249 is a little bit pricey. The Power Beats are in the same pricing from Apple, but I do like the noise cancel on these. And I think the enhancements that they did is worth it over, if you haven't bought AirPods before, I would go with these over the other ones just based off the fit. Feels a little bit nicer. You're getting the noise cancel, so you don't need another pair of headphones unless you're in a pretty busy office or you work in coffee shops a lot or whatnot. But I think for a majority of people, they'll find the noise cancellation a pretty good feature, especially with music on, as we talked about throughout this. There's some other features that they have with iOS 13.2. If you are on a plane and you and someone next to you want to watch the same video, you can actually do audio sharing. I couldn't get it to work. I kept opening both up next to the phone after unpairing the old ones. And for whatever reason, it wasn't working, but I'm going to keep trying and see if I can get that. I'm sure there's some nuance there. I don't honestly think I'd be using that feature too much. 4.5 hours battery life, as I said, it's going to work great for me. I do have a charging pad. I'm excited to just put it down and have it charge. And overall, pretty excited to use these over the next couple of days. And we'll let you guys know what I think.